Welcome. Welcome, everybody. The Rhode Island General Treasurer Frank Caprio is here to talk about the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act and to sort of tell you what's happening in the state as a result of his efforts and others, and sort of looking at the act and seeing how it really applies to the rest of us. It's complicated, and fortunately for us, the Treasurer has an economic degree from Harvard, so he's going to put the legal jargon into plain English for the rest of us. Mr. Treasurer, thank you.
First, let me thank you and your team, thank you, for all that the Humphrey family and the organization has done. And obviously it dates back a few years, right? The company started in the 1880s.
1885.
So here we are, about 120 years or so of success. So opening this store obviously is another step in the right direction for the company. And I wish you continued success. And by the looks of the crowd here tonight, obviously things are moving in the right direction. So let me spend a little time on the federal legislation. Now again, I'm state treasurer, and this is federal legislation, so I'll do my best to cut through the major points for you. But again, if there's any follow-up, I try to have my office the most user-friendly office in state government. Now I know the Humphrey team is probably better customer service than I can offer, but we try and strive to have customer service as strong as what you would find in world-class private businesses. So if, as you go forward, issues come up of how to interact with this legislation, give my office a call directly, and we will do our best to either point you in the right direction or get the right person involved that can answer the question if we can't answer it. The federal government right now, to give you a size and scope of what's going on with all our tax dollars, the federal government right now is spending $5 billion more a day than it's taking in taxes. So if that was a business, it wouldn't stay in business too long. But the federal government can do that because people are willing to lend America money. And why will people lend America money if it's spending $5 billion more a day than it's taking, or over $1 trillion more for this year's federal budget? They'll lend America money because of all of you. Because you're who will pay your bills and pay your taxes, and you're a proven track record at doing that. And you're the businesses that will risk money to make money, and you see the opportunity, and you know America will grow out of this slowdown. And that's why people are willing to take the risk of loaning money or buying American bonds and notes for really minimal interest rates. Today's rates, I just checked them as the markets closed today. America, a 10-year bond right now is trading at a yield where it would pay about 2.9% a year in interest. So think of that. You're a company that's spending more than you're taking in. You have all these unfunded liabilities, but you can borrow money for 3% a year, basically as much as you want. Not a bad deal, right? But that's, again, not because of some fancy buildings in Washington, D.C. or the Washington Monument. That's because of all of us and the proven track record that America and its people have to go forward and show that prosperity will return. So with that as the backdrop, the Recovery Act lays out areas where the federal government will be pushing a lot of resources into certain areas. The one that overlaps into the industry that we're talking about tonight is there's a fair amount, I think about 44 million is coming into Rhode Island as far as energy and environment spending, and 44 million will be available for home weatherization and renewable energy projects. So that's a material amount coming into our state. That again, there's certain guidelines and a process that entities and families need to follow to be able to access those funds. But it is there, and it's obviously something that everybody should be aware of as they go forward with looking at new products and new uses of renewable energy for their homes. You know, the bigger picture of the Recovery Act is when you talk about small business, the SBA has been given a fair amount of resources and now new guidelines for how they'll guarantee loans and make the guarantees will be higher, there'll be loan fee reductions, and there'll obviously be secondary market incentives for those who purchase the loans. So if someone is looking at an SBA opportunity, now's the time to do it because they've revamped their process and it's a little more, I'll call it user-friendly for businesses. And the limits are a little higher and the fees are a little lower, so that's a good thing. As far as businesses here in Rhode Island, there's a fair amount of money coming in that will assist businesses if they have to lay off people, unfortunately. There's the extended unemployment benefits. So again, a fair amount is coming in that helps people who right now have lost an opportunity for full-time employment. There's other pockets of money. Some goes to the arts, some go obviously to education. There's a big push to update the educational institutions, elementary schools, high schools, college buildings, make them energy efficient. So that's another area that obviously your industry will probably participate in as these facilities upgrade their infrastructure. And then there's all the infrastructure spending for the roads and the bridges, which is one of the largest components of the federal package. So it's a time now, and we were just talking about this, there's a lot of uncertainty. And America's not the type of place, or Rhode Island, where we put the down and out badge on and say things aren't going to get better or we're not willing to take a chance. And really what I'm looking at here tonight is a long-time successful established business saying, I'm willing to invest money to make money even in this climate because of the faith that they have, not only in their own instincts, but in what's going to be going on in the local economy. So I'll take this message forth. Actually, I'm going to be on a news maker's show tomorrow morning, a television show. And I'll use tonight as an example of when you look at what's going on in the local economy. Those who have the vision and again have the appetite to take on the risk, there will be, I think, big upside in the very near future, but you have to be in position to do it. If you're not willing to take a step like this and put in place the right team and obviously put the resources behind it, you won't be able to participate when things are going a little more smoothly than they are right now for the economy. So I commend the leadership of Humphrey's and all of you for taking the time to come here tonight and learn more about it. Oh, and one other thing, I know I mentioned on the stimulus or on that issue to interact with my office. I try and make my office, State Treasurer, the most user-friendly office in state government. I treat customer service as our #1 priority, and whether you interact with us by calling the main number at the State House or sending us an email through our website, we will respond, and we want you to talk to a real person if you call and get a real answer to your issue. And even if it doesn't deal with Treasury business, if it deals anything to do with state government and you're not getting anywhere down the normal path, contact us and let us partner with you to solve the problem. Because I like to learn about what's going on in the other state departments and obviously weigh in on how they could do their job a little more efficiently or better to serve obviously the most important part of the equation, that's you, the customer, or the person that's paying the bill. So with that, let me open it up for questions. Yes, sir.
How do